பயாலஜி இன் தமிழ் கோர்வை சேனல் சார்பாக அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பெயர் கண்ணதாசன். In this video, I am going to present taxonomy and systematic botany part 6. Part 1 to part 5, 5 videos links given in the description. I request all the students to go through all those 5 videos so that you are able to establish a proper connectivity with this video content. The content of this video is taken from lesson 5 volume 1 11th standard botany state board book and chapter 1 11th standard CBSE book. The units that we are going to learn today are phylogenetic system of classification and angiosperm phylogeny group APG system of classification. I request all the students to take the textbook, go to the particular page. Of course, in the CBSE book, this topic, these 2 units are not elaborately discussed. So if you are a CBSE student and NEET aspirant, you please take the textbook of the state board and go to the particular page in 11th standard volume 1 book. Take the hints taking notebook and pen. Each slide carries a very important information. You please take note of it. It will be very useful for you at the time of revision. You cannot go through the entire book at the time of revision. Understand? I hope this video will be very useful for you. If you like this video, please press the like button, share this video to all your friends, comment on it, put your doubt in the comments. I will answer. Subscribe our Biology in Tamil Core channel. Press the bell icon to receive the notification. As and when we publish the videos, you will be receiving the notification. And this video also going to be accompanied by one Google Doc form question paper. By entering your email ID and WhatsApp number, you are able to access the question paper. There will be some 20 MCQ. It will be very useful for both board student and NEET aspirants. Once you finished answering, immediate result will be displayed. You will be receiving the result. That is one of the benefit of attending the Google Doc form question paper. Now let us enter into this video. The first topic is phylogenetic system of classification. Phylogeny. It deals with the study of the evolution of individual species, origin of individual species or an individual group, that is called as phylogeny. The phylogenetics play a vital role nowadays in taxonomy, and it is dynamically changing the entire taxonomy. What we learned in about 10 years back become irrelevant today. Now the many developed nations in the world start applying the APG system of classification. So we have to learn, we must have a better idea about the phylogenetic system of classification. Who gave the stimulus for the phylogenetic system of classification? If you ask that question, it is Charles Darwin. He published the book called as Origin of Species. There is the picture of Charles Darwin. The Origin of Species was published in the year 1859. That is the stimulus for the emergence of phylogenetic system of classification. We are going to learn in this phylogenetic system. Number 1, Adolf Engler and Carl A. Prantl system of classification. 2, Arthur Cronquist system of classification. Adolf Engler and Carl A. Prantl system of classification. It can be asked in one 5-mark question. Accordingly, you plan your studies. One of the earliest phylogenetic system of classification of the entire plant kingdom was jointly proposed by 2 German botanists. They belong to the country Germany. Adolf Engler and Carl A. Prantl. Adolf Engler and Carl A. Prantl. They published their classification in a monumental work called as Dinaturalism Pflanzen Familien. In 23 volumes between 1887 and 1915, this can be asked, what is the publication of Adolf Engler and Karl Prandtl? One more question. Die Naturlichen Pflanzen Familien. In this, they had 13 divisions of the plants. 13 division. The first 11 divisions are thallophytes. What are thallophytes? Thallophytes are having the plant body, thallus. Thallus means we are not able to anatomically differentiate any tissue system, and morphologically we are not able to differentiate root, stem and leaf. Then it is called as thallus. The plant body is said to be thallus. So all the plants having the uh, plant body, thallus plant body, are coming under thallophytes. Example, the algae, the multicellular algae. Here I gave the example, Spirogyra picture. The 12th division, so first 11 divisions are concerned with thallophytes, right? The 12th division is Embryophyta. It means the plants are able to produce embryo. From the embryo, new plants are growing. Embryophyta Asiphonogama. Embryophyta Asiphonogama. What are Asiphonogama? A stand for absence. Siphon stand for pollen tubes. Absence of pollen tubes. Absence of pollen tubes. Then it is coming under Asiphonogama. There are two groups of plants mentioned under this Embryophyta Asiphonogramma. They are bryophytes. You can see the embryo, the filamentous, branched filamentous embryo. They are able to produce the new plant in bryophyte. Pteridophyta, probably they are the first vascular plants, vascular land plants, right? Here the picture is given, Lycopodium. It is a pteridophyte. 13th division of Engler and Prandtl system. The 13th division is Embryophyta, Siphonogama. Siphonogama. Siphono refers the pollen tube. So they are able to produce the pollen tube like this. So these are the pollen grains of gymnosperms, and these pollen grains produce the pollen tube to deliver the male and male gametes to the female embryo sac so that the fertilization can take place. And this is the overall classification given by Engler and Prandtl system of classification. The Embryophyta Siphonogama divided into two subdivisions. One is Gymnospermae and another one is Angiospermae. Again, the Angiospermae subdivision divided into two classes. One is Monocotyledonnae and another one is Dicotyledonnae. Monocotyledonnae includes 11 orders, 45 families, and Dicotyledonnae includes 44 orders. Again, Dicotyledonnae classified into Archiclamidiae and Metachlamydiae. As we have already learnt in Bentham and Hooker system of classification, the dicot is classified into polypetalae, gamopetalae and monoclamidiae. Likewise, here also Archiclamidiae and Metachlamydiae. Archiclamidiae otherwise called as apetalae, Metachlamydiae otherwise called as sympetalae. In a tabular column, I gave this information. Now you can see the division Embryophyta Siphonogama divided into two subdivisions, Gymnospermae and Angiospermae. Angiospermae further classified into Monocotyledonnae. It includes 11 orders, 45 families, and class Dicotyledonnae consists of 44 orders. Class Dicotyledonnae includes 44 orders, Archiclamidiae, apetalae, absence of petals, right? Apetalae, it is also called as apetalae. Metachlamydiae, sympetalae. These are the two groups coming under the class Dicotyledonnae. Here I gave the differentiation points between Archiclamidiae and Metachlamydiae. Here it is called as apetalae, here it is called as sympetalae because the corolla are fused. It means the petals are fused, gamopetalous. Here the corolla, polypetalous. Petals are free. Sometimes the petals are absent. That is what here given. Perianth, single or double. Single perianth or double perianth. Right? Here perianth in two worlds, calyx and corolla, are present. It includes 33 orders with 201 families. Here it includes 11 orders with 57 families. So far we discussed about Engler and Prandtl system of classification. Now we are going to learn about Arthur Cronquist system of classification. It can be asked in 5-mark question. And here I gave the picture of Arthur Cronquist. Arthur Cronquist, an eminent American taxonomist, proposed, here he belongs to the America, proposed phylogenetic system of classification of flowering plants based on a wide range of taxonomic characters, including anatomical and phytochemical characters of phylogenetic importance. Those characters should have the phylogenetic importance. It should we are able to trace its evolutionary history of a particular group or particular species. Understood? He has presented his classification in 1968 in his book titled The Evolution and Classification of Flowering Plants. 1 more question. Write the name of the publication or book published by Arthur Cronquist. His classification is broadly based on the principles of phylogeny. You know very well what is phylogeny, that finds acceptance with major contemporary authors. That is very important. Contemporary authors should accept a scientist work, then only it is acceptable by the entire world. He classified the angiosperm into two main classes. One is Magnoliopsida. Magnoliopsida, it is equivalent to dicotyledons, and Liliopsida, monocotyledons. So for dicotyledons, probably he gave the name called as Magnoliopsida, and for monocotyledons he gave the name Liliopsida. Magnoliopsida and Liliopsida. It includes 6 subclasses, 64 orders, 320 families, and about 1,65,000 species. Whereas Liliopsida, 5 subclasses, 19 orders, 66 families, and about 50,000 species. So this information, write note on Magnoliopsida and Liliopsida of Arthur Cronquist system of classification can be asked in 3-mark question. You accordingly prepare for it. Here the Magnoliopsida, the cladogram is given, evolutionary tree is given. Subclass 1 Magnoliopsida, number 2 Hamamelidae, 3 Caryophyllae, 4 Delenidae, 5 Rosidae, 6 Astridae. So these are the 6 classes under Magnoliopsida. Liliopsida, it consists of Alismatidae, number 2 Aricidae, number 3. So the cladogram is also given here along with that. Comulinidae, number 4 Zingiberidae, number 5 Lilidae. These are the 5 classes under Liliopsida. Cronquist system not persisted for a long time. Why? The question can be asked in 1-mark question or 2-mark question. Why it could not persist for a long time? Because the system is not very useful for identification. It's not useful for identification and cannot be adopted in herbaria due to its high phylogenetic nature. So even if you go to another extreme, the phylogeny alone taken into account for classification is also very difficult to follow. So these are the 2 reasons for which Cronquist system of classification could not be followed by the various countries of the world. The second one we are going to discuss is Angiosperm phylogeny group APG system of classification. Angiosperm phylogeny group APG classification can be asked in 5 mark question, the descriptive answer, and also naturally many 1 mark, 2 mark and 3 mark can be asked for the state board students. The most recent classification of flowering plants based on phylogenetic data again, was set in the last decade of 20th century. What are the 4 versions of APG? 2 mark question. There are 4 versions so far. A new version may also coming up in future. 4 versions of angiosperm phylogenetic group classification APG1 have been published in 1998. Match the following question even in the NEET examination. APG2 have been published in 2003. APG3 published in 2009. APG4 published in 2016, very recently, just 4 years back. Each version supplants the previous version. Recognition of monophyletic group based on the information received from various disciplines such as monophyletic group recognized. What is monophyletic group? The group which consists of common ancestry. Then it is called as monophyletic group. From a single ancestor, many group of organisms or many species originate. Then it is said to be monophyletic groups. Based on what are the information from where they are received from gross morphology of the plants, anatomy, embryology, palynology. Palynology means the study of pollen grains. Karyology. Karyo refers the chromosomes or nucleus. Phytochemistry. The various chemicals, biochemicals which are present in the plants are also taken into account to classify the plants. More strongly, one that is molecular data with respect to DNA sequences of two chloroplast genes. Two chloroplast genes, right? The genes taken from chloroplast, not from the nucleus. Very clear? And you know very well there are two organelles which carry the DNA in plants. One is chloroplast and another one is mitochondria. The first one is ATPB. It means ATP synthase subunit beta protein. That is its expansion. So the gene which is responsible to produce the enzyme called as ATP synthase subunit, the subunit beta protein. Very clear. It may consist of many subunits, that particular enzyme in which the subunit is beta protein. That is the reason why here it is given. Okay. And RBCL stand for ribulose biphosphate carboxylase gene. Ribulose biphosphate carboxylase gene. We learnt about the RUBP, the formation of ribulose biphosphate at the time of dark reaction, So that is catalyzed by the enzyme called as ribulose biphosphate carboxylase enzyme. Okay, so from these two genes, okay, they play a vital role in classifying the plants. They give lot of information for classification and evolution of the plants. And one nuclear gene, that nuclear gene also very important gene by which they are able to classify, they are able to trace the phylogeny, trace the evolution. Very clear. So that nuclear gene is nuclear ribosomal 18S, 18S DNA, right? Single stranded DNA probably. Okay. The most recent updated version APG4 2016, that is what we are going to learn. The most recent updated version APG4 recognized 64 orders and 416 families. Of these 416 families, right, 259 are represented in India. Very important question can be asked. 259, more than 50% of families represented in India. That is a great credit for our nation. We have such a lot of biodiversity. Monophyletic group. They accepted the monophyletic group, common ancestry. Now you can see this is the common ancestry point. Are you clear? Some of the plants from this point, right? This is actually the dicot category. Okay, gave one branch to delineates, another branch to super rosids, another branch to super asterids. So such a lot of groups of plants originated from this common ancestry is called as monophyletic group. The outline of APG4 classification we are going to learn. Source, Plant Gateways, the Global Flora Volume 1, January 2018. So this is the source from which it is taken from to our book. The early angiosperm, the umbrollales. You see, umbrollales. Umbrollales, probably the very early angiosperm, from which one stalk gave rise to nymphaeads, again astrobialians, magnolids, and chloranthales. All these groups are said to be early angiosperms. From the early angiosperm, one stalk become the ancestor for monocots, in which the two families represented here highlighted, Musaceae and Liliaceae, and another common ancestor. This is the common ancestor. Okay, become the ancestor for the eudicots. From there, you see the multiple branching, high diversity occurred. Higher level of diversity at the that is dicot plants. At you see from here nearly six ancestral points I marked here. Common ancestry. Are you clear? So one for ceratophyllales and another one for ranunculales, another one for proteales, another one for torchodendrils, then buxales, and lastly for gunnerales. Are you clear? So the dicot become the highly diversified group of plants here. Then from early divergent eudicots. So this is the point 7 of common ancestry. It gave rise to the common ancestry 8. It gave rise to on one side super roseates and another one is super asterids. Again the super ancestors had 3 branching points, that is the common ancestry. So this is the common ancestor for all. You see, that's the reason why we are using the word called as common ancestry. And this point is common ancestry for both caryophyllales and asterids. The highlighting families here, family Fabaceae and Euphorbiaceae, and asterids family Apocynaceae and Solanaceae. Are you clear? Three clades of angiosperms. First, there are three clades of angiosperm. So the question can be asked, what are the three clades of angiosperm based on APG4 system of classification? They are. So it is one of the 2 mark question. Early angiosperm, monocots and eudicots. So these are the three clades we learned already. Already we have seen the cladogram. We are going to learn one by one. Write note on early angiosperm can be asked in 5 mark question. Early angiosperm are classified into 8 orders and 26 families. It includes ANA grade. The ANA grade is nothing but the basal angiosperm. It means the angiosperm which evolved in the olden days. That is the ANA grade, basal angiosperm. Here you see A stand for umborales, first letter. N stand for nymphaeals, and again A stand for astrobialiales. You see, from umborales only, okay, one of the common ancestor become the common ancestor for the entire group of angiosperm, all groups of angiosperm. Are you clear? So the ANA grade means they are the basal or very early angiosperm from which other angiosperm groups evolved. Understood? Umborales. This from a reference. The plant order that contains a single member only. Umbellales consist of only single member, only one plant, only one plant species. Umbrella trichopoda in the family Umbrellaceae. It represents the earliest, that is the point to be noted, earliest diverging branch among living members of the angiosperm tree. Nymphaeals. Order of the flowering plant consists of three families of aquatic plants. Three families of aquatic plants. This also reference. You just have it in your notebook. Astrobiales. There are about 100 species of woody plants. Perhaps all these three are coming under ANA grade. It means basal angiosperm. Understood? Or early angiosperm. There are about 100 species of woody plants, perhaps the most famous of which is the Spice star anise, Elysium verum. Characters of early angiosperm can be asked in one 5-mark question. Number 1, seed always with two cotyledons. This very that is obvious. The earlier angiosperm should have two cotyledons. Presence of ethereal oils. In order to protect themselves from their enemies, they produced a very particular type of oil with uh, aromatic aroma. They are lemon oil, lemongrass oil. Example I am giving here: cinnamon oil, tea tree oil, eucalyptus oil. So they are able to protect themselves from the enemies, other insects which are affecting the plants. Third character, leaves are always simple, net veined. Net veined means reticulate venation. Reticulate venation, not having parallel venation. Simple leaves, not compound leaves. You must be able to differentiate all this with while you are studying, right? Each floral whorl with many parts. Each floral whorl. Suppose you take the corolla. Corolla consists of some many members within the particular whorl. Perianth usually spirally arranged. You see, spirally arranged. Spirally arranged wherein one member or each member will be overlapped by other member, and also it is overlapping another member. So one side is overlapping, another side is overlapped regularly, then it is called a spiral arrangement. Stamens with broad filaments. Broad filaments. Anthers are tetrasporangiate, having 4 sporangium. That is called as tetrasporangiate nature. What we are discussing, characters of early angiosperm. It can be asked in one 5-mark question. We are now in 7th point. You must be able to recollect. Pollen monosulcate. It means the pollen grain, not anther. Pollen grain consists of a single furrow through which the pollen tube emerge. So this is called as monosulcate, single furrow, monosulcate stamens. Nectaries are rare. Nectaries are rare. Nectaries attracts the animal pollinators, right? So probably at the for the early angiosperm, the pollinators, the pollinating agent may not be the animals. It may be the air or it may be the water. Corpels usually free corpels, apocorpus, not syncorpus. Likewise, you have to recollect what you have learnt in morphology of angiosperm. Apocorpus ovary, syncorpus ovary, free corpels, apocorpus, syncorpus, the united corpels. Embryo is very small. So these are the 11 characters coming under the early angiosperm category. Monocots in APG 4. Monocots are classified into 11 orders and 77 families. It includes the broad groups under monocots: basal monocots, it means early monocots, lilioids, and comolinids. These are the three groups. So, from the early angiosperm, one of the ancestors gave rise to monocots. Very clear. When compared to monocot, there is eudicot. Monocots are originated little bit earlier, we should say. Now, after that, only the eudicots came into existence. This is also reference. Monocots having three groups. Basal monocots we learnt. Alismatic monocots. They are called as alismatic monocots. Second group already mentioned, lilioid monocots and commulinid monocots. The alismatid consists of two groups, acorales and alismatids. Lilioid monocots consist of pterosalviales, dioscoriales, pantanales, liliales, and aspergilles. Communinids consist of four groups, aricales, poales, gingiberales, and commulinales. Right? Just have an idea about these groups. Right? Characters of monocots. Again, it can be asked in 5-mark question. Seeds with a single cotyledon. Seeds with a single cotyledon because they are monocot. Primary root short-lived because they produce fibrous root system. Single adaxial profile. This is the profile. The first formed leaf is called as profile before any new leaf arise or new branch arise. You see, this is the profile for the first leaf of a branch, then second leaf, third leaf. So it form a branch, right? So it is called as profile. Ethereal oils rarely present. Rarely present. By this time, probably they become immune to all pathogens or insects which are attacking them. Mostly herbaceous, absence of vascular cambium. Here you can see the cambium in dicot, but here there is no cambium. And also the vascular bundles are scattered. Leaves simple leaves, no compound leaf. With the parallel venation, there we learnt reticulate venation. Here, parallel venation, monocot. That is the characteristic feature of monocot. Floral parts usually in threes. It means trimerous. You see, the members of the floral whorls are either 3 or multiples of 3 in number, then it is called as trimerous. You can see the carpel 3, pollen 3, then perianth in 2 whorls, each consists of 3 members. Perianth are often composed of tepals. What are tepals? When we are not able to distinguish the calyx and corolla, then it is said to be perianth. The members are said to be tepals. 10th character, pollen monosulcate. Here also the pollen having the single furrow. Style normally hollow. The style, stigma followed by style. It ends with ovary. It is hollow. Hollow nature of style. Successive microsporogenesis. It means each nuclear division is followed by the cytokinesis and cell wall formation. Then it is called as successive microsporogenesis. Understood? That is the meaning. Now we are going to learn about eudicots. It can be asked in one 5-mark question. From the earlier angiosperm, one common ancestor gave one branch to monocot, another branch to eudicot. So this is the common ancestor for the entire group of dicotyledons. Very clear? From here, it is one of the highly diverging group of plants. Eudicots are divided into 45 orders, 313 families. It consists of early diverging eudicots plus super rosids and super asterids. These are the 3 major groups, right? So under eudicots, under early diverging eudicot, you see ranunculales, proteales, trochodendrils, and buxales, gonerils. Then from early divergent eudicot, 2 more groups came into existence. One is super rosids. From this common ancestry, one more that is group comes. You see, delineals. From super rosids, saxifragales, then rosids. Here 2 families are highlighted. One is Fabaceae and another one is Euphorbiaceae. Under super asterids, Berberidopsidales, Santalales, Caryophyllales. So these are the 3 groups. The last group is asterids. Under asterid, 2 families are highlighted. One is Apocynaceae and another one is Solanaceae. So totally there are 11 common ancestry found, or 11 point of branching found, right? Characters of eudicots, 5-mark question. First one is the seed with the 2 cotyledons. No doubt they should have 2 cotyledons because they are eudicots, true dicots. Nodes trilacunar with the 3 leaf traces. Trilacunar. What is trilacunar? If you take the cross section of a plant stem at the nodal point, we are able to see the three leaf traces. You see the median leaf traces, it is larger one, and two lateral leaf traces. In between them there are three leaf gaps, and this is the pith. This blue color one is the vascular cylinder, and green color portion is the cortex. Now I think you are able to understand that is the trilacunar nodes, stomata, anamocytic, stomata. Here you can see the stoma, the opening, surrounded by the two God cells. The two God cells surrounded by the subsidiary cells which are irregularly shaped. Anamocytic means irregularly shaped subsidiary cells. And one more point to be noted, these subsidiary cells cannot be differentiated from the surrounding epidermal cells, because the surrounding epidermal cells also with irregular shape, so that we are not able to differentiate. So these are the two identifying point for anamocytic stomata. Fourth one, ethereal oils rarely present. Woody or herbaceous plants, monocots, mostly herbaceous. Now here woody or herbaceous plants. Leaves simple or compound, usually net veined. Here simple or compound. Here you can see the tripinnate compound leaves in moringa. One of the example I brought it here. Net veined. It means reticulate venation, which is the characteristic feature of the dicot plants. Flower partly, the flower parts mostly in twos, fours or fives. It means tetramerous or pentamerous. Here I brought it for your understanding, tetramerous. You see the outer calyx is 4, corolla or 4, and stamens are 4. So either 4 or multiples of 4. Then it is said to be tetramerous. Understood? Eighth point, microsporogenesis is simultaneous. It means every nuclear division is followed by the cytokinesis followed by the cell wall formation. Then it is said to be simultaneous. Style solid. As we have learnt already, style hollow style. But here the style is solid. It is filled up with some amount of tissues, some cells. And pollen, tricolpate. Tricolpate means the three apertures of the pollen grains. The pollen grain can grow, that is a pollen tube can grow through, or the pollen grain can germinate through any one of this aperture. It gives more possibility for the pollen tube to grow through the stigma. Very clear? So that is the reason why it is selected by the nature. Very clear? So tricolpate. I think you would have understood now. APG system, present and future. APG system is an evolving system, they are telling. Evolving system means it is not an end. The APG 4 2016 is not an end. That might undergo change periodically based on the new sets of data from various disciplines of botany. It is the currently accepted system across the world and followed by all the leading taxonomic institutions and practicing taxonomists. However, it is yet to percolate into the Indian botanical curriculum. What do you mean by that? Still, India is not adopting this APG 4 system of classification, right? Changes in earlier taxonomic understanding. The newly proposed APG classification system has brought many changes in our earlier understanding on the concept of primitive flowering plant families. Some of them are given below, so can be asked in 5-mark question. What are the changes in earlier taxonomic understanding after the introduction of APG system? 5-mark question. Number 1, the real Rennellian families, especially the arborescent ones, are no more the primitive families. The arborescent ones are no more the primitive families. But as per APG classification system, you see it is divided into Amborolaceae, Nymphaceae, Astrobilaceae, Magnoliaceae, and Chloranthaceae, and form the early angiosperms. So these are the early angiosperms. Monocots are recognized as a monophyletic group. It means having a common ancestor. The entire group of monocot, all plants of monocot, originated from a single ancestral group, that is the monophyletic group, and hence terminology is retained as monocots. Whereas if you take the dicots or polyphyletic, as I already told you, it is a very diverging group. Many branching points we noticed, That is the reason why it is called as polyphyletic. Many ancestral points from where new group originated. As a result, the term we are not able to use the dicotyledon as a whole. So we have to use early diverging eudicots, then rosids and asterids. Very clear? So the dicotyledon group as a whole is outdated format of classification. Liliaceae, Sensulato. Sensulato means in a broad sense. In a broad sense, it includes many taxon along with it. That is the Sensulato. In abbreviated form, it is S.L. Muluginaceae and Jayceaceae are recognized separately from Isoceae, right? The Muluginaceae and Jayceaceae are recognized separately from Isoceae. Euphorbiaceae, again Sensulato, is split into Phyllantheaceae, Picrodendraceae and Putrangiaceae. So these are the groups, new groups originated from the Euphorbiaceae. Previously, the Euphorbiaceae include all these three in a broad sense. That is the meaning of Sensulato, S.L. Okay. Asclepidaceae or merged with Apocynaceae, Sensulato again, right? Many genera that were conventionally treated under Verbanaceae such as Clerodendron, Tectona and Vitex are transferred to Lamiaceae based on the modified circumscription, means the new description of the plants and plant groups or particular taxon is said to be the circumscription. So because of this circumscription, all these changes are made. So that is what we are studying. What are the changes they made in the APG system when compared to the earlier system, right? Now, a timeline showing the history of classifying flowering plants into families. A timeline starting from Bentham and Hooker, 1883. They considered 202 families. Engler and Prandtl considered 303 families in 1915. Arthur Cronquist considered 386 in 1981. And it has gone to the peak 462 by APG-1 system of classification in the year 1998. 462. The source from Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, State of World's Plant, 2017. APG2 recognized 457. APG3 2009 recognized 413. APG4 2016 again increased 416. Are you clear? So here I brought it for your better understanding. That is graphical representation of timeline of number of families in the history of classification in the form of chart, right? From 202 to 303, 386, 462 for APG1. Again, now it is coming down to 416. Future of classification. As the classification is the or taxonomy itself is a dynamic subject. It keep on changing. That's what we are going to learn. Classification reflects the state of our knowledge. The knowledge keep changing as we get new knowledge, new data. At a given point of time, it will continue to change as we acquire new information. And this is the do you know box information. A significant number of major herbaria including Q are changing. So the change is the basic of taxonomy. Probably this is one of the never-ending process, right? So Q are changing the order of their collection in accordance with APG, but India is not adopting. That is a point to be noted. It is given in the book. The influential world checklist of selected plant families, also from Q, is being updated to the APG3 system. They are updating it according to the APG3 system. A recent photographic survey of the plants of USA and Canada is organized according to the APG3 system. Even the recent photographic survey of plants arranged according to the APG3 system. in UK, United Kingdom. The latest edition of the Standard Flora of the British Isles, written by Stace, is based on the APG3 system. So this is the end of this video, student, in which we learned the phylogenetic system of classification, angiosperm phylogeny group APG system of classification, characters of early angiosperms, characters of monocots, characters of eudicots, and also we learned the timeline of number of families in the history of classification and what are the changes made in the Duino bugs. Okay, from the Duino bugs we learned what are the changes in the world made from the early system of classification. Okay, most of them started following the APG3 system of classification. So this is the end of this video, student. Thank you very much for watching.